So if you look back at the 2000s manga landscape, there's this one title that occupies a really specific space.
Oh, definitely. You're talking about Bleach.
Exactly, Bleach. Today we're taking a deep dive into the style, the sound, and really the philosophy behind Tite Kubo's work. I mean, we're talking about a franchise that sold over 130 million copies.
Yeah, and returning in 2022 with the Thousand-Year Blood War arc really just proved its staying power. It wasn't just a fad.
Right. So to start off this deep dive, let's just lay out the overview for you. You've got this high schooler, Ichigo Kurosaki.
The guy with the bright orange hair.
Right. Orange hair, giant sword, and he can see ghosts.
Which leads right into the inciting incident. He actually meets Rukia Kuchiki, who is a soul reaper, or Shinigami.
And she gets injured, right?
Yeah, she gets hurt protecting Ichigo's family from a hollow.
A corrupted evil spirit.
Exactly.
Oh.
So she transfers her powers to him, which basically makes him a substitute soul reaper.
But the sources we pulled highlight something super interesting about this. It's not just your classic boy meets magical girl setup. It's actually a crime.
Yes. She's breaking the rigid laws of the Soul Society by doing that. It instantly establishes the stakes.
So from there, his mission becomes protecting innocent humans, purifying those hollows with his Zanpakuto, his sword, and guiding souls to the afterlife.
And that's a massive scope. But what really drives the appeal, what makes this series so fun and iconic, is the sheer style of it all.
Oh, absolutely.
Tite Kubo didn't even start with a plot outline. He started with a specific visual, just a single image of a Shinigami wearing a kimono.
That visual contrast of the traditional samurai aesthetic clashing with modern urban Japan is basically the DNA of the whole franchise.
It is. And I love the detail in the notes about his drawing process. He actually blasts rock music while drawing the battle scenes.
To figure out the choreography, right?
To determine the camera angles and get that visceral feeling of the fight. You can practically hear the beat in the way the action flows across the panels.
That is so cool. And then there's the linguistic flair. The way he names things is just brilliant world building.
It's incredible. The Soul Reapers use terms based on ancient Japanese literature. But then you switch to the hollows and errand cars, and suddenly everything is Spanish.
Like Hueco Mundo.
Exactly. And the Quincy's, their historical rivals, use German. It instantly tells you something about the culture of the enemy without needing a massive exposition dump.
It really turns every battle into a clash of cultures. And speaking of battles, we have to talk about Bankai.
The final release of a sword's power.
Yes. It became this massive pop culture touchstone. It wasn't just a power-up, it was basically a fashion statement.
Totally. The characters literally changed their clothes and their whole vibe. Spiritual pressure, or ryatsu, dictates the rhythm of the fights. It's the rule of cool weaponized.
But it works because of the characters. Ichigo's motivation is so refreshingly different from other shonen heroes of that era.
Right. He doesn't want to be a king or the greatest ninja. He's surprisingly normal.
He's a reactive hero.
Which is a vital distinction. His motivation isn't conquest, it's protection. He just wants to protect the people within his reach. His family and his diverse cast of friends like Orihime, Chad, and Uryu.
Which makes him so grounded. And that unique appeal translated into so much more than just manga. The franchise spawned video games like Brave Souls, a live-action film, and even rock musicals.
Which makes total sense given Kubo's drawing playlist.
Right. But underneath all that cool fashion and the rock aesthetic, there's a somber undercurrent to what they're actually doing.
Definitely. At the end of the day, they are fighting hollows. And that's a thought I want to leave you with today.
Because hollows aren't just born as monsters.
No, they are human souls. They're corrupted by regret or pain or unfinished business. They become monsters simply because they couldn't move on.
Which really casts the Soul Society in a strange light when you think about it.
It does. It forces you to ask this question. If our unresolved trauma and emotions can turn us into actual monsters, is the Soul Society a force of divine justice?
Or is it just a cold military bureaucracy designed to violently manage human baggage?
Exactly.
That definitely changes how you look at the mask next time you see it. Well, that's all for today. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive.